So you're here at this specific moment, at this specific time, to be a voice. Hello, Divine Ones. This is Ashley for FD 1111 Ministries, home of Tarot, Bible, and Alchemy. This is just going to be a video, okay? Straight up. I initially mentioned this scripture a while ago when I did a live. I felt like I should have, but I didn't feel like I really hit the point home about a time such as this. And this is in the book of Esther. So Esther was a divine queen, literally a queen, and she stepped in place of Vashti. Queen Vashti was a independent thinker, an independent woman, very opinionated. So you can go read the whole chapter. So I really want to focus on it, and I can feel it so deeply that little phrase, a time such as this. I would think to myself, like, why was I born in this time? Like, but why am I born? I'm not born in the future. I wasn't born like so far in the future. I wasn't born so far in the past. Why was I born when I was born? And why am I in a certain area at a certain time? Why do I meet certain people? So if you ever question yourself and wonder, why did I meet that person? Why was I born at this specific time to these specific people? Why do I have these specific friends? Why wasn't I born here? Whatever the question may be, is for a time such as this. So the time is at this moment because of the fact that you have a specific story that you have to tell. See, her story that she had to tell is that she went from being an orphan Jew to being a queen over the kingdoms. So many of us select ones, divine ones, that we were born in a certain circumstance around certain people that didn't resonate with our frequency. I'm not going to say that all of them purposely try to hold you back or hold us back. It was just that they weren't on that same frequency. And certain circumstances is because of a life path that you have to fulfill. And if you were to be born in a certain family with a certain mentality, because the mentality is passed somewhat through the DNA, and then it's also passed through from nature to nurture through the upbringing. So you had to break, you were the portal, were the one to break the family curse. It's like the door that was closed to your ancestors. That door was closed and it was locked. Your grandparents unlocked the door, and then your parents pushed the door. And you are the hinge that will open the door completely. And this specific time portal that we are in, or time activity, whatever you want to call it, this little window that we have right now, that we were born in, that we are currently thriving in, and our frequency is raising, is because we are transitioning, or have transitioned, that's up for debate, from the age of Pisces. Now I'm about to get real esoteric right now, which I love. Okay, so the age of Pisces represents an age of suffering to a degree, in which that Pisces also represents like the age where Christ came. So Christ came to be a sacrifice, as well as many of the other greats came in that Piscean age. If you look at the progression of mankind from the beginning of the Piscean age to now, where we are transitioning or have transitioned into the age of Aquarius, that things were hard. You had the plagues, you had people that were being burnt at the stake, you had people that were being sacrificed, literally, and it was part of the law, all the way to now, where you had from slavery to the freedom of commonly known slavery, to equality or segregation, to more so equality, to like the floodgates are opening. And I make this progression is to show that the progression of mankind. Another way of how to look at it, where you had to go get your water, you had to travel by horse and carriage, or either by foot to the next town. There was no such thing as electricity. And then through the progression of history, you had the harnessing of electricity, and then you had running water, or form of running water, all the way to the running water that we have now, all the way to the full harnessing of the ethers, the radio frequency, from radio to television with visual, and then even more so, almost a form of telepathic communication where you have email, then the progression beyond that with the telephone to cell phones to text messages. And you can see the progression happening. And as you go to Aquarius, Aquarius is the ether. It represents the ethers. And the ethers represent like anything that's in the electromagnetic field that's invisible to the eye. So electromagnetic energy, radioactive energy, radio signals, thoughts, they're all invisible. But now we could take our thoughts and we can send our thoughts to another person, text message, email, video, whatever the case may be. And that's just preparing mankind for normal telepathic abilities. So you do have some that have telepathic abilities, but that's not normal. The progression of mankind going from very hard circumstances to something more light. You think about Pisces is like the thickest of the water. It's like it is spiritual and it has a spiritual connection, but it can be murky water because like it can be too much activity going on at one time. And it's two aspects swirling around in the same frame. So it's like the positive and the negative just swirling around until out there it reached to a certain frequency or a certain speed. With this age of Aquarius, this is the speeding up of that energy, of the information, of the hardships from the Piscean age to the age of Aquarius. So this time just now, like the time that we live in, is the evolve humanity. We're here to help evolve humanity, but at a higher, faster rate. So through the progression, you can see that, yes, humanity did progress. They did raise their consciousness, but now it's like the full push through to go to a whole nother paradigm that it will speed up. It will keep speeding up, and then it will evolve. So it will go like this. It will stay like 1D, and then it will spiral up until it goes to 2D, 3D, 5D on. And this revolution to evolution, the spiraling up, this is like normal thought patterns, normal ways of communication, normal ways of how to exist, continuously spiraling up until after it's a whole new existence. So you will have some that will still be in the 1D, actually 1D, 3D. And what I'm saying about 1D is like they're trapped in the fear mode. And technically we don't live in a 1D world, but these people are like, they're almost like parasitic type of energies. It's like maybe even possessed, possibly engulfed in this frequency. It's like they're hitting a barrier. So they're in 1D, 2D. They have normal people in 3D. And then you have those that go into the emotional body of 4D, and then you have 5D and beyond. So you're here at this specific moment, at this specific time, to be a voice. And that voice could be different for each person. We are all not going to be born in a highly vibrational family or in a spiritual family or in a religious family or anything like that, because we are all here to be in different circumstances so we can reach different people. If we all were born on the same continent under the same type of conditions, we will all pretty much think humanly the same, and then as well we would be all grouped together. How would we reach others? So when you may think about why you were born at a certain family at a certain time, it's because you have a message to bring to a certain type of individual that can physically resonate with you. So going from the age of Pisces, which the two fish represent the hangman, which is Pisces, which is the Christ. I did a video on that. I will hopefully remember to have it in the description box as well as linked up here. As he ascended, that he left made it possible for us to reach a certain level or a certain frequency. Now it is everybody's choice to do so or not. And then he helped to usher in the Aquarian age. So the star is the star of Venus. So that Aquarian card, the star card that represents Aquarius, is letting us know that there is hope, because that card also represents hope and promise. And it represents where you would focus your energy and your attention. So It's one scripture I think of, is like, he will be raised up for all to see. And that's that star. And that star is the light, the illumination. This is the card I'm talking about right here. The star card, the star of hope, the star of promise. Where you have like the one river of water, purification, that is being divided in the other hand to several different rivers, streams of consciousness. It is available to all. I'm not going to go into all the symbology of this card. That'll be for another video. About the Aquarian age. This was an excuse that people used in the Piscean age because information traveled at a slower rate, but now information travels at the speed of sound, the speed of light. If you haven't raised your consciousness, if you haven't raised your vibration, if you haven't obtained a certain amount of knowledge, you were found in blame to a certain degree, because you have all the information pretty much in the world at your fingertips.